Man, I am so pumped. Hey, welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host. You already know the business, Minister Fred 2, Frederick, Freder. I know sometimes we drop the second E, but I'm the same dude, Whitlow the second. Hey, shout out to my the Queen Adia. She will perform like crazy. Shout out to Pastor Mike Jr., man, James Fortune, Ernest Pugh, man. Shout out to man, Worship 94.5. You guys did your thing. They're our partner. Of course, we're on the sister station, We Up 103.1. But today's show is bananas. Now, you all know, Professor, why don't you go ahead and throw, you know what's coming up September the 17th, right? It is going to be on and popping. It is the No More Dirty Clean comedy series, and it's unhinged. Now, look, this one right here is off the chain, completely bananas. So there it is right there. It's going down. You already know the third Sunday in the month. That's September the 17th. Time of the show begins at 5, but 4:30 doors will be open. We got some amazing brown and black and brown vendors, amazing food. So you can come ready to get your eat on and laugh, right? So without any further ado, we're gonna get in on. In fact, we're gonna do a whole set, and then when you meet the comedian, you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, is he coming to the city?" And I'm like, "Yep, yep." So we're gonna give you some little snippet, right? A Christian play skit comedy shop, and then when we come back, you're gonna meet our special guest who will also be at the Clean Comedy Series Unhinged show. All right, let's do this, Professor. Let's go.
Well, I can't even flex. Yeah? Oh, give it up.
Man, I ain't giving nothing up. I ain't worried. I ain't been worried. My God got me.
Yeah? So you think you tough?
Nah, I ain't tough. Christ is rock, though. You got 2 guns? Shoot me twice.
Okay, stop. Wait, I'm gonna have to stop him there. He been to Bible study twice this week, and now he think he's invincible. But me, no.
If God say it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I ain't worried. I ain't never been worried.
You hot right now? You think God's gonna save you from this?
It's a shame. Lord forgive him for he knows not what he does. Man, stop playing. Give up that food stamp card.
Food stamps? This is all for you doing this all for food stamps.
I ain't got time for this. Go ahead and tell God I said what up. Got him! Hold on. I told you, Christ is the way, boy.
He tried to kill you.
Thank you, God. I knew you was gonna have my back. I don't understand why they do these things, Lord. I love you. You love me.
But where are you?
Hey, welcome back. I told you all this show's bananas. And listen, we do this every Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. On the East Coast, go at 1. That's 3 p.m. East Coast. On the West Coast, bring it back, Della, throw the W's. It's 12 noon. Without any further ado, clean comedian in the building, studio, in the world, global, all around the world, and I is none other than my man Corwin-O, a.k.a. C-Dog. What's up?
What up, Mr. Fred?
Hey, what's going on? I know what's happening, man.
Hey, man. I just want that video that you showed prior to. I want my faith to get to that point because I don't even know. Hey, I love the Lord, but I don't want 2 hot ones. I tell you that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, when I got this, I was like, oh, this is perfect way. Listen, welcome to the show, Corwin-O. Y'all know
Yes,
him
sir.
from BT Comic. You see all across the world, rocking on with all the bad boys. We're gonna talk about it. But
Yeah,
man, how
yeah.
you doing, man? Thanks for being on the show.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here, man. Hey, everybody else been here. I get my turn.
Yeah, your turn. And it's your turn. The whole hour is your turn.
The
So
whole lot.
listen, without any further, we always start out with because I want people to know who the person behind what they do, right?
Word,
So
word.
Corwin-O, we're gonna talk about that in that Sea Dog. I was like, that's an interesting question, Sea Dog. Where that come from? But listen, 3 fun facts just about you. 3 fun facts, not about the comedy necessarily, but 3 fun facts about you. Number 1, what you got?
Number 1, I peed in the bed till I was about 9 years old.
Okay, that's a fun
Yeah, I
fact.
mean, that is a fun fact. I learned how to get up and change my underwear and get back into bed before anybody found out.
Okay.
Uh,
Number one. Number two. What's number two, cuz?
Number two is a fun fact. Let's see. Number two, a fun fact is I thought about these, but I don't. I'll tell you about this.
Okay.
Me and my wife met in a strip club.
Okay, that's a fun fact, obviously.
That's a fun fact. Hey, she wasn't a
In
strip
the
club. She
moment.
wasn't a strip
In the
club.
moment.
Yeah. Do you hey, this is after dirty, ain't it?
This is no more dirty to the after
No
party.
more dirty, right?
All over it.
Yeah. We ain't dirty no more.
No more dirty. We clean, baby.
Yeah.
And number fact number three, what you got? Boy, you funny, Corey.
Number three is that's a great one. Let's see. Number three. Almost died at Freaknik in '94.
Well, there you have it. This guy is as human as it gets. Welcome to the
Yes.
show. No more dirty.
Yes. We ain't dirty no more, but
No more dirty.
I
Praise
was.
the Lord, bro. Woo! From the window to the wall. No. You know what I mean? So listen, what about a quote? Do you have a quote you live by, or maybe a favorite scripture? Share with our folk, man.
Favorite scripture. The scripture that changed my life was Ephesians 2:1-10 was what really changed my life, and just understanding that no more dirty. I'm understanding that I once was, living a life that wasn't honoring the Lord, and it was only because of His grace and His goodness, that I can now have life with Him, and also I can't boast about it. I can't. Ain't no boasting, because if it wasn't for Him, I'd still be doing what I was doing.
What I think is really great about, first of all, I'm excited about having you on the show, because what I love about you national clean comedians is that you're truly human. You just bring out the humor in life, and you're as regular and as normal as you are, in spite of your past or even what's going on even in your present. You know what I mean? And so I really appreciate comedy, period. So let's talk about your backstory. So where you from? Talk to the folk. They need to know. Now this dude is wide open. Y'all know that already. Now, praise the Lord, he wide open and saved. But
that other wide open ain't.
This would you probably would be on the show.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. So, but no, backstory. Where you from? And what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about?
Oh, that's a great question. Great question.
Yeah,
where am I from? Decatur, where's Greater Decatur, Georgia, is where I'm from.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Candler Road, Candler. What?
Oh, you already know.
What
South
you saying,
Carolina. You'll find it all.
Chicken wing chop down the road.
Hey, that's all they got on Candler Road. Chicken wings,
Yes,
liquor stores, and a mall that you can get white t-shirts and tennis shoes. That's about
That's it. Oh man, I used to get my white beaters there all the time. I used to drive all the way to the ATL, bro, to get me white beaters and get the fit.
It was like they was a different kind of white. They was just so clean and crisp.
I don't know why they wait. So yeah. So you're from Atlanta, from Decatur, excuse me. What are you passionate growing up? Was there anything that you were super passionate about, and how did you get into this whole comedy piece? And we're gonna go to another, because I want to show a little bit about your
Yeah. So I guess I've always been a funny guy, so I was. Funny thing is, so I tell people I graduated in 90 and 91 because I couldn't make it all the way out in 90, so I had to.
Wait, hold on, Professor, you hear this dude? He said he graduated twice in 90. Well, how do you go 90 and you still have to get over?
Class of 90. I was class of 90. That's what I was supposed to come out, but I kept, going back and forth, and then I finally made it out at 91. And
so you've always been funny. But what are you passionate about? Is it humor itself? Is it just people? There's always got to be.
I think I'm not necessarily passionate about humor. It's who I am.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not necessarily like I love comedy. I watch it, you know. Yeah, but it's what I'm passionate about is probably men coming to the Lord, men and their families, you know, teaching, small groups. Those are things that helping people just live in a way that honors the Lord and in being who God created them to be. Because I believe so often we come to the Lord and we believe we have to change and be somebody different. Right. And I think it's like, now God created you. He didn't create nobody else like you. He wants you to be who you are, you know. And so that's what I love. So that's what I'm passionate about. When we talk about things that I want to do and things how I want to help people, and funny gonna be funny. I ain't got to try.
That's what's up. And you know what I love, man. I was checking out some of the stuff you sent. And this comedy bit, bro, you listen, this Southern Swagalicious thing you doing, I don't know, man. But I tell you what.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Listen, it's off the chain. I want y'all to get a little bit of snippet now. Professor X, you give him just a smidget of it. So we're gonna do. I love that. What is that? Regular black people piece. You just did. You did a whole thing, but I just want to give them like maybe 45 seconds of it. So 45. You think? Because they gotta come to the show to get like the whole shebang bang.
You already know.
So here it is. You already know. Corwin-O, aka C-Dog, with just regular black people. We'll be right back.
Y'all could at least clap till I made it to the microphone. I'm so selfish. It's just clap. We gonna have a good time right here. I ain't even know. I ain't even been out here before. This is nice. Y'all got regular black people too. These regular black people. These ain't the ones you see on the news. These are regular black people. She said, watch out, but maybe it's one. Maybe it's one. I love y'all. If you from Atlanta, make some noise. You from Atlanta? That's what I'm talking about. You from somewhere else, make some noise. You from somewhere else? Yeah, we don't like y'all. Y'all the ones messing traffic up. Something that just learned 285 is a circle.
Bring that dude back here, bro. See, y'all the problem, but y'all regular black people. Yo, son. Yo, you funny, bro. Now, so I'm sorry, folks. This dude's funny. If y'all don't come out to this show, it's on you. You gonna miss it. Right. So, Corn, let's dig right in. Let's talk about this C-Dog. Where'd that come from, bro? C-Dog.
The funny thing is, so I used to work at Sam's Club. Maybe that's a fun fact too. I used to work at Sam's Club.
That's a fun fact for real.
Yeah, that is a fun fact, boy. And so this guy Jonathan, I can't remember his last name, but he called me C-Dog, and it wasn't. He told me what it was he told me my regular name, Corwin, wasn't a cool name. He said I needed a cool name, and he called me C-Dog. And I think I should have been offended, but then everybody started calling me C-Dog at Sam's, and so it just stuck. And so that's what my first time on stage, I went up to C-Dog, and it never went away after that.
Wow, that's pretty dope, man. That's dope. C-Dog, yeah. They say you just doing a regular thing, got it in. So in terms of how did you get into comedy? Now I know you were a very comical person, comedic, obviously, right. You're just a humorous guy. But how did you get into like comedy? Like what happened? Was it you
I don't know if y'all had Small Fire yet?
Yes. She set us all. Yeah, she started the joint, man. At the top of the year.
So we actually went to high school together.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So we were great friends. Yeah. and we would have been most humorous together, but I decided to come out in 91, you know. But anyway, that's a long, don't worry about all that. But yeah, so because I didn't come out when I was supposed to, I had to let that superlative go. I guess you can't be superlative and getting kept back at the same time. So yeah.
Little challenge.
little challenge. So yeah, but anyway, so we she started, so after she went to college for like a year, and then she jumped into comedy. And she kept, every time we would see each other, she's like, "Corwin, you need to do it. You need to do it." And I was like, you know, and I was scared. So we both played basketball. We were playing basketball at the old Run and Shoot in Atlanta. You used to go to Run and Shoot back in the day?
Wow. So we have some interactions.
It was for all the basketball players who wanted to be
the hoopsters. Them was the hoopsters, man.
Right. And no, it was some ballers out there. Yes.
Yeah, they were hoopers.
Yes. So we was out there playing we was on a small court with the other unhoopers. And she actually dared me. She's like, "You need to go on stage." She was like, "Yeah, real men go on stage." And I was like, oh, you gonna pull the ego card on me. And so I really went on stage the first time because she dared me.
Wow.
And it was like when I went on stage, you couldn't tell me I didn't hear the bells ringing and the angels singing. It was like, this is it. And so, yeah, it was it was that experience, my first time on stage, and my very first time on stage, I actually did well. Yep, I actually did very well, so much so that they invited me. It was Uptown Comedy Corner on a Tuesday night in 1995 in February. Wow. And I went on stage, did well, and then they invited me to another club and I got booed. So I did very good and I got booed all on the same night.
Wow. Well, you know, I think that's so cool because you know, a lot of times people see you all, especially national comedians, especially national and clean. That's really unique. We're going to talk about that. But it's always you always, you know, you see you in the movies. We see you on the make comedy club platforms and things like that. But they really don't. Sometimes we don't even know how a person got into that business, or they're always just like, they just woke up one day and then they're making six figures. They woke up and then they're opening up with so and so, or they're the main open. They're the headliner for so and so and so. So since that time, and you are national, let's talk about your journey. Some of the platforms. Where have you been? Some of the people you talked to, or you opened up for, or you rock tours with. I mean, I know, but I think some of the folk need to kind of get a little peep into that lens of that world prior to your transformation.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, touch the stage with many people: Steve Harvey, Jamie Foxx, Chris Tucker. So Chris Tucker is on the comedy club in Atlanta.
Get out of here.
He used to own a comedy club in Atlanta, and this was early in the game when I started comedy. And I got pretty funny, and they asked me to come close the open mic night. So I was headlining the open mic night.
Wow.
It was, and I was at his club. It was a new club, and he wasn't supposed to be there, but he comes in. This is after he done blown up. He is Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Chris was the man. He
was the man. He comes in and says, "Hey, I want to host tonight." And the show is middle ways through, comes in, he's hosting, and then he's like, "Hey man, you going up?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Corwin-O, C-Dog." He's like, "Okay." This joker goes up and forgets my name. Fred, he does an hour in front of me because he can't remember my name. Killing. I'm a young cat in the game. I'm like, this joker, what is he doing? I'm mad, but I'm at his club, so I can't be too mad.
You can't be too mad. No.
But he does an hour. Then he finally comes back. He tells the crowd, "Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back." This joker comes back to the green room and asks me, "What's your name again?" I was like, "So you've been doing an hour? Because you could have been there and asked me this." Yep. So yeah. So I mean,
Wow.
I've done. Yeah, I've been on tour with Tommy Davidson,
Yeah.
Joe Torre. I mean,
Yeah.
mm,
So you still do you still know the? I mean, since you've done so much, BET, Comedy View, all of those. Um, do you still see them from time to time, or is there still that crossing of the paths as you're doing your stuff now?
sometimes not as much as it used. Like I ain't on that circuit like I used to be. So no, not as much. No. So but like when we run into the ones that I'm
Yeah.
real cool with, we see each other. It's like we ain't missed a beat.
I think what's really cool is that that you have made a type of a transition. So one of those pieces I love, you talk about your mom, man. It's so funny. Now, before we showed it, and we only doing the snippet of this too,
Mhm.
but your upbringing. So I think how did that impact your comedy? Let me just say it that way, and then we'll show a snippet of that. How about that? That good?
Oh, always, yeah.
All right, cool. What's up?
Uh-huh. So I mean, my upbringing, I grew up a church kid in a sense. And I say in a sense because I ain't singing choir or nothing like that. But I was in church. I had to be in church every Sunday.
Right.
But no. And so funny thing is, I had a Jesus parent and a devilish parent, and and I just think one thing too. I always say I just think it brought me great balance, though.
Right.
I knew what the streets were like, but I also knew what God had to offer. And I think that's what kept me from the streets, So I just bring that to the stage.
Wow, that's so interesting. And again, I think folk, you're tuned in to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Our special guest, C Dog in the building. We're gonna give him I just want to give him a snippet of this one because y'all gotta come get the full gamut.
Get a little taste. Come on, get a little.
Just a smidget. Just a smidget. Just a Professor smidget. Here it is. You already know. Mama, mama, mama. That's all I would say. All right, let's go.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you right now. I say anything, something wrong with me. I don't think I was raised right. I don't, because my mom didn't always know Jesus. She didn't. She do now. That's what counts. Y'all didn't always know Jesus. Like my mom, before she knew Jesus, she used to smoke weed. That's what I said. And I wasn't mad she smoked weed. I was just mad she treated us like we smoke weed. She was treating us like we had the munchies. Giving us food didn't even go together. Hot dogs and crackers. Oatmeal and corn on the cob. One time she gave some bowl of grits and put an annihilate on top of it and said, that's love. I said, I am telling. Take me to my daddy's house, I am telling. But I ate all them great grits. It's awesome.
Ooh, that's funny. Bring that dude back in, man. Yo, son.
Hey, man.
So how let me tell you what's really cool about that bit and about you is that it's almost like Paul was a bicultural. One was a Greek, one was a Jew, and they had that whole split personality and how some people kind of rock this way, others rock that way. But Paul was one of the most prolific orators or communicators like yourself. And I think when they come in here, the whole piece and all the stuff you're gonna bring, and by the way, he's gonna be the headliner of the 3. Shout out to my man Saint Vic, and also to Tanya Lewis, who you'll see them on another show. But let's talk about the experience. So you're doing all this major stuff. You're all over the place. You rocking with Martin Lawrence. You're doing this and that. You boom, boom, boom. Jimmy Fox. Da 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 da. So how did you go from all of that, right, to this clean side? Because you've always listen, folk. He has always been funny. Like you have a natural funniness, which you're exactly right. So when you come to the show, it's gonna be I'm praying for you that you don't have a hurt stomach for 2 weeks. But the transformation. Let's talk about, was it an experience? What was that really you were like, okay, maybe I need to look into something a little different, but still funny.
Uh, I mean, yes, I think it was an experience, I think for me, always knowing I was called, and so or I always say, like, I always knew I had something greater I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so I think that for me, it wasn't until, but at first I really thought it was doing just straight comedy clubs. But then it was like, nah, God was like, nah, I got something even bigger for you to do. And so I don't know, this could have been a fun fact too, because I don't know if you know this, Fred, but I was a pastor for about 10 years. And so
Well, no, I didn't know that. Yo, son. Listen, bring me back in. You done messed me up.
Back in.
Bring me the doggone back in with the sea dog. Bruh. For real?
Yes.
Yo, goodness. That's,
So,
see, you never notice. You just know the stage and you know the comic, but you never really get. This is why I love doing these kind of things, man. Because at the end of the day, it makes it even juicier. It makes it even more appealing that, man, like you have been across the spectrum.
yeah, most definitely.
So from regular to pastor. Okay, wait, we got to go back. So you the best now, man.
That should have been a fun fact. It should have been a fun fact.
That should have been a fun fact, son. But that's cool. So pastoring, and then so why did you lean more now in the comedy instead of pastoral? But you decided man, that's super crazy dope.
Well, the thing is, because my thing is now, how do I create spaces for just regular people? I mean, because there's many people who ain't gonna step foot in the church, and so I do things at my house, and so I'm really my thing is really about authenticity.
I got you.
And I believe sometimes for so many people, the church just hadn't been that authentic place for them, that place where they feel like they can be themselves. And so, I stepped away from the pastorate to get back to doing some more things that I feel I was created to do.
Wow. Wow. I love that. And again, I love your authenticity as you're talking about what for you, and we're gonna go back and talk about that transition to clean comedy, which makes sense now and more. For you, what would you say to pastors as just a word of encouragement or challenge, how to be more authentic from the pulpit to the back door, having your foot in both doors?
I think for so many pastors is the stage, the church, the pulpit is just part of what you're called to do. And I think so many pastors think that, and preaching is huge. It's a huge part of, we are supposed to, make these proclamations and call people to be something better. But also what people want is not just the person that they see on stage. They want a person that they could walk with in life, and hey, granted, I know the pastor can't touch everybody, but we need to be creating this community to where on a grassroots level, people are in one another's lives. And I think that's what we're not doing enough in churches. And and that's my challenge to pastors when I get called to go speak at other churches and all of that. Those are the type of things that I talk about. And I just want people to come to know the Lord in a real way, and you don't have to change necessarily. He's going to do the changing, but he's calling you to still be you.
I want to go to, and this is a perfect piece, segue. There's another young brother, Chris. He has a piece that's called the Hallelujah Roll Call. And I think it's great because in church, you always a roll call. There's always a hallelujah corner. There's always something going on, but it's about people. And like you said, C-Dog, I think a lot of times we have to remember, especially in the vein of ministry or ministering, that like you said, if we're not so authentic in our walk, then just walking by faith is not enough when you're not walking in faith. So let's go to this piece. You done started some. We're gonna talk. Then we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about this transition. So here it is, little comic piece, just real short and sweet. But again, welcome to the session with my man. You already know Corwin-O, aka C Dog, national clean and Christ-centered comedian. Let's go. We'll be right back. A funny dude, bro. Yo.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, roll call. My name is Paul, yeah, used to be Saul, yeah, had them scales on my eyes, couldn't see at all, but now I'm saved, yeah, to say by grace, yeah, I wrote a letter to your churches on the way, My name is Matthew, yeah, used to do Texas, yeah, now I'm breaking bread, putting fish in baskets, I'm not your treasurer, but I'm treasured, yeah, cause my blessings coming back beyond measure, My name is John, yeah, who Jesus loved, yeah, sent his son to save us, came from above, but like this dove, I'm spreading out my wings, yeah, cause you know who I am, John 3:16. My name is Peter, I cuss you out, but I'm saved now, so I just shout. Hey. But if you ever run up on Jesus and I'm near, best believe that I'm cutting off your ears. Slice. My name is Andrew, Peter is my brother. I was catching fish, I caught them like no other. One day I was on a boat to fish again. Then Jesus said, you should be fishers of men. My name is Thomas, I be pouting. Don't believe it till I see it, I be doubting. Jesus came back, he told us in advance. I needed proof, so I asked to see his hands. My name is James. I'm John's brother. If you know Salome, that's my mother. My dad name's Zebedee. Jesus called us Boanerges. If you wondering, I'm a son of thundering. My name is James too. Okay. I'm low key. Actually, they don't really say too much about me. Oh. You got a few verses in there, don't you? No, he got 3. Yeah. I thought it was 4. Me too, I thought it was 4. Oh, well, we gonna need more. Let the beat play. My name is Philip, John the Baptist came to me. Yeah, I'm from Bethsaida, near Galilee. Yeah, I follow Jesus cause I heard he was the one. Yeah, told my friend Nathaniel, then asked him to come. Yeah, it's Bartholomew, also called Nathaniel. Yeah, my boy Philip came by with them sandals. Ooh. He said he found the one that Moses said was near. Yeah, but he from Nazareth, what good can come from there? My name is Thaddeus, I be real confused. The city had to go, I said, you do? And then I said, why are you only telling us? Only us. And then he said, I'm only telling those I trust. Those I love. My name is Simon, so do what Simon says. I'm a zealot, so you know passionate. The ancient Romans, I think they all ugly. But Jesus working on my heart, so it's above me. My name is Judas. I be stealing. Thief. I was robbing Jesus while he was healing. What? Your favorite scammer. No, I'm not a giver. Cause I turned Jesus in for 30 pieces of silver. Song over. It's a wrap. Shame, let's go, y'all. We can't have nothing.
No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, cycles, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV show. Connect with us. Tune in.
Welcome back. You already know the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Our host, you already know the business. I'm Minister Fred 2. Don't call me Junior. That's a problem. Y'all know I got issues. I'm like Peter. I will cut you. Hey, bring my homie back. Hey, say what? I will cut you. Yo, shout out to my man Chris. Yo, hey, what? Hey, man. So, what you think about that one, bro?
Dude, that was funny.
What
That
it
was
funny?
funny.
It was right at the lane.
Yes.
You were talking about the church, bro. You got all the
Right.
personalities in the building, bro.
All of them. Yes, and oh, that Judas at the end.
It was like, man, you can't have nothing. God,
Can't have nothing.
man. I was struggling on that one. I said, oh, man, get me back here. So, listen, you are tuned into the session. We got our special guest, national clean and Christian gospel comedian, Corwin-O. Y'all know him from BET, Comic View, all of that stuff, hanging out with the big boys. Now he's still big, but he's doing it differently. So let's talk about your transition, man. And then we're going, I got to tell them about the stuff we do outside this. But let's talk about your transition, man. You're doing it big. You flying high, man. I mean, we see you everywhere. Cats is cracking up. You on Martin Lawrence. Everybody knows C-Dog. Corwin. So how did you, movies, sitcoms, comic clubs, Comic View, the whole nine, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that, bro. You got to talk about that before we get out of here.
It's funny. I mean, it was, I knew God was calling, kept knocking. And I mean, he was calling early in the game, and I just was like, it couldn't be. And I just knew when I got into comedy, that was what I was supposed to do. I didn't necessarily believe it had to be necessarily clean or I didn't necessarily want to be I never wanted to be known as a Christian comic.
I got you.
So, yeah, because I came up, in the Def Jam days, the BET days. And so,
Yes,
and back then, Christian comics weren't that funny.
I got you.
So,
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be known. And one thing too, and I think it's difficult I don't think you can have this conversation with most Christian artists, and especially artists who come from the secular world into the Christian world.
Right.
I think the thing that you wrestle with is people not thinking that you're just as good as the people that you go pay, a whole bunch of money to go see. You know? And so I think that's the struggle too that so many artists have. I know Christian rappers. I'm talking about everybody who comes over to the Christian side or the clean side. You still like, hey, I'm just as good as these guys, but we're doing it for a different reason. So, so my transition, I knew God was calling Fred, and I kept not answering, and then he just really just made it real clear. I couldn't deny it anymore. And so I made it, and I went cold turkey in a sense. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to ask this other question, which is not something we had talked about. First of all, I want to say kudos to you, man. Salute to you for doing that. But when you say cold turkey, what has been the greatest joy now that you've just made a transition and said, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Now, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it 100% clean. What has been the greatest joy? Because you're still natural. You're still getting around, bro. It took us a minute to get you to come to Hunts Vegas. So it ain't like you're not getting the bag. It's not like you're not doing this. You still, your name, they still calling. But what has been like maybe one or two of the greatest experience or greatest blessings or benefit now that you're on the clean side, 100%?
That's good. I think the number one thing for me that just really that was the best part of the transition was the day that I was going to get to headline the club that I started in. And so I had never, out of all the years, I never headlined Uptown Comedy Club. And I was going to get a chance to headline Uptown Comedy Club. And I couldn't because I was making the transition. So there was a bunch of material that I didn't want to do no more.
Right.
And so, and I just I knew that I wasn't mentally in a space where I could go up there and honor the Lord with an hour worth of material. And so I just couldn't do it. And so I was supposed to do it. Came up to the Thursday, week before the week before I was supposed to be there, and I called the club manager and I told him I couldn't do it. And I was going to lie and say I was sick or something, and God wouldn't let me do it. God was like, "Nah, tell him the truth." And I told him, God has just changed my life, and I got to go in a different direction. And I remember he was like, and he was just cool as a fan. He was like, "Man, no problem. Don't worry about it. We got you, whatever you need." And then when we hung up, he actually texted me back and he was like, "Man, I am just so proud of you." And it's funny, like, but it was just meant so much that he was like, the fact that you stood up and told the truth and you going in that direction. He was just like, man, he said many people wouldn't say what you just said. And so, and then the other beautiful part was, and then a guy who's my pastor now ended up calling me the next day, Friday, and he told me he wanted me to come speak at his church. And I'm like, I had spoken at a few churches, but it was comedy, or talking about my life or something like that.
Right.
But so I go, I told him I'd do it, and he wanted me to preach. And so I go, and the thing was that day he asked me, "So how much do you want to get paid for this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what the church scale is. I can tell you what I'm gonna make in comedy, but I don't know what pastors do on their speaking engagements."
Right.
And so, excuse me, he was like, "Okay, don't worry about it." I was like, whatever y'all say, whatever y'all give is cool.
Right.
And he gave me down to the penny the amount of money that I was going to make at Uptown Comedy Club that week.
Wow. And see again, kudos to your faith, man, because, I think a lot of times people believe that when you choose to live a clean, God-led life, right, that you really will not get the bag, or you will not be sustainable, or you will not enjoy life. You know what I'm saying?
That, Fred. And I think that the bag, and that's the thing I think you have to come to a realization of, the bag might not be the same. It might, the bag on the Christian side, you ain't gonna match what they make it on the secular side. But it's a whole different reason why you're doing what you're doing.
That's it. And the joy and the peace that you can have in your mind that you come off the stage and you brought it. You know how I'm an MC, so I got bars for days, and I'm an entertainer like yourself in a different area. And what I learned is when I decided to go 100% in, all God, all Yeshua, man, the bag, it's a different bag. Literally, it doesn't even look the same. Yet he sustains it versus me trying to get enough money in the bag to sustain what I'm good, or I think I'm good at. So I love the fact that, man, you're walking away allowed you to level up in so many other ways. So now you can pick and choose. You don't have to pick and choose at all.
Right. Yeah. And now I do a show in Atlanta, much like what you all do in Hunts Vegas. We do a show in Atlanta. We'll be doing our show September 29th.
Okay, that's
Atlanta.
What's up.
Yep, it's called Hallelujah.
I might have to pull up on you.
You let me know. I got you.
For real.
And we got some dope comedians. No, and I want you to come, because what we do also is we bring the same people that people are going to pay a whole bunch of money to go to the comedy clubs. We bring those same comics through, and we ask them, no sex, no cussing, but do what you do. And
that's what's up.
Yeah, and so that's what has allowed me. That's one thing. That's probably the other thing that has been my greatest joy, is now I'm booking the same comics that I've seen for years, hung out, friendships, and all that, and bringing them actually into the church and watching what God does in their lives.
And that's evangelism, man. In the package of the sneaky rap of humor.
Yep.
Same thing with Christian hip hop. It's hip hop. We just give God glory, and we will give you the bars, so you can't say we whack.
Yep.
We giving it to you 100,000%.
Yep.
Hands down.
There you go. That's it.
Wow,
That's it.
bro. I really am glad that we had this conversation, because I think a lot of times people see artists and individuals, and for you, I'm gonna say an entertainer, because you really transcend just being a comedian, as most people think. You literally have done the gamut, and you're still in the game. What has been the biggest thing that has kept you in the game? That's the other piece I wanted to ask,
I
because I
think,
do want to show one more piece before you get
yeah,
out of here.
bet that'd be good. No, and I think just for me is being able to just touch lives. And I think that's my greatest thing, my greatest joy now, in just being able to touch lives in a creative way, in an authentic way. And so that's what I love. And so like September 29th, when Holla comes around, and it's just like what you're doing, it's the same thing. It's like, how can we touch lives? And it ain't from necessarily from preaching, but it's
Right.
still proclamation, it's still evangelism, and it hits in a whole different way.
So enough for sure, man. And I love the fact that, and we're gonna show one. I'm gonna show at least one more piece, a snippet, of course. But I do want to, and we're gonna maybe, Professor, just throw a couple songs on the back end, or at least one more, because we normally do the music, the hip hop in between it. But this was so good, man, Corwin. Um, because I just think people need to know that, saved people are real people, bro.
Yes.
Like, we so real, man. Some days I had to be like, yo, I'm scared of myself. The
Yeah.
authenticity, if we're not careful of being so authentic, we can miss the joy of the Lord. You know what I mean? And you keep
Totally.
the joy of the Lord, you and your whole squad, and come in this on the 17th of September to Huntsville. Listen, Hunts Vegas is never gonna be the same. If No More Dirty got anything to do with it, we're gonna have my man Corwin-O, C-Dog. He's gonna be the headline feature. But then before that, we're gonna have Saint Vic. Y'all already know he crazy. That Saint is funny, bro.
Yeah, my
And then
guy.
you got Tanya Lewis coming from B-More, Baltimore. Man, she smashed before, but listen, material upon material. And if you're into comedy, look at it. There it is right there. Don't act like you don't know. Everybody like to laugh. We got a comedy club here, and they're like, now they call like, can I speak to Mr. Whitlow? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we ain't doing it. It's gonna be all the way 100. So
Yeah.
you gonna have to you gonna have to rock our way or figure it out some other way. And so, oh man, Corin, I'm really excited. So now, before we go, I'm gonna show one more piece, and then professors, we're gonna do our Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. You talked about something earlier at the show. You talked about your passion for men. Let's dig in on that just a little bit.
Mm.
Uh, as a man, we both are men on this show, and Professor X alike is all of us. Why did that become your heart's passion, even in line with your humor and your entertainment?
Because I believe so goes the man, so goes the family, so
Come on,
goes the family, so goes the community, so goes the
come on.
community, so goes the city, the world, the nation, all of it. And so I believe, like, if we get the man, then we can get everything else. And I think it all hinges on pouring into the lives of men, period. And knowing too that every boy longs for a superhero in his life,
Yes, sir.
and he's either going to get that in the home from his father, or he's going to latch on to another man, and that man may not know it, or he might. But we
Right.
all, to become a man, we all latch on to a man. And so my desire is that we can create more heroes in the house, so that young boys ain't got to go far to go find somebody to look at, to be like, and model themselves after. And so, yeah, and that's what that is my thing. And just really just seeing men come to know the Lord, and Jesus wasn't no punk.
Come on now, say that, man.
Jesus wasn't no punk, and so you ain't got to not
Yes,
be a man to come to the
come on.
Lord,
Yeah.
And
And to
so that's,
function in a way that you can be level at to get the bag. You can do that. You ain't got to do all that to come up.
yeah.
Listen. Let me tell you something. And you know this. You a married man. A woman wants a strong, confident, know who they are man.
Yeah.
Because they can do the feminine side. They can do all the other stuff. They do that just naturally, waking up, looking sexy and feminine. That comes natural. But we need some brothers in here that's gonna make you laugh, gonna make you cry, gonna be like, nah, not here. Who you talking to? Do you see women in the building? What check yourself, or I'm gonna wreck you.
Right,
Forget
right.
I'm gonna wreck you. And at the end of the
Yep.
day, man, what you're doing is powerful, man. And then have all these comedians that's aligned in mission to make
Yeah.
sure that we as men can do all things. The Bible says nothing is impossible to him
Mm,
who believeth and doeth.
do
Feel
it.
me? Do it. Come preach that, boy. Did you say do it and do it?
Do it.
Go,
Can't just talk about it. You got to go
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, man. So
Yeah.
listen, how can they follow you? Because we got to take them out with your married men. Since we talk about men, let's give them a 30-second snippet. Y'all just got to come, man. And then I got one more final question. How can they follow you? What can they do to be like lock and load everywhere you go? We checking for you. We might pull up on you.
Hey, comedian C Dog. You catch that on mostly every platform: Instagram, Threads, Twitter, or X, whatever they call it now. And, you know,
I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, comedian C Dog and Corwin C Dog Oglesby on Facebook if you're over there. That's for all the aunties and uncles today on Facebook.
They know that if you from the old school, you know that Corwin-O. You know, that's a
There
catch.
you go.
That's a catch. That's your name, but it's also a catchphrase. You know what I mean? For everything
Yep.
coming. So, any closing remarks you want to share, man? Because I'm gonna pray for you too, and we definitely gonna have your crew here too, like we have the crew, all three on it. But we had to do something, because we doing it something all the time. There you go, right there. Got the fam. That's what's up,
Yep.
bro.
Yeah, you done put all of it. I see you. I see
Hey,
you.
man, we about that life, baby. We about that life. We
that
do it right
life.
here. No more dirty, baby. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. So, hey, I'm just excited, man, and that I get to come to Huntsville, Vegas.
That's
And
Vegas, baby.
man, hey, and my encouragement to everybody is live how God created you. You ain't got to try and be nobody else. He
Come
only
on.
made one you, and that's who he wants you to be, as long as you're following him.
So what can they expect from you? That I had to give it to them. You being all calm. What can they expect from the headliner coming on September the 17th, 2020? You already know, Dad. You add the date, year. You know the man. What can they get, man? Because you coming with the bang bang. We had to get the bag.
We gonna be all the way live. We gonna be funny. We gonna be off the dome at times. We gonna tell regular jokes. We gonna walk through the crowd. We gonna do some of everything, you know. And so don't worry about me talking about you, because you already know what's wrong with you. So So, but we gonna all laugh and have a straight up good time. Shout it.
That was Shawty. You already know from the 8th, man. You heard that, Shawty. Oh, the bank. Okay, listen, let me dial it back. Come on back. Come on. All right, so listen, we are super excited. Let me do the closing of these little things. Every Friday we do, and then we're gonna do a prayer for you, and then we're gonna go out with your boy in the building, C Dog. Y'all know who he is, the famous, infamous, if you want to be technical. It's my man Corwin-O. But on every Friday, this is what we do. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Everything is No More Dirty Inc. INC, because we all incorporated with this, and we try to make a difference. But every Friday, 7:30 and Wednesday nights and Fridays now, we are from 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We rock the dopest, the hottest, the brand freshest, the cleanest, and I'm talking about 100% clean music videos. Plus, you get to touch your life lessons, man, with my co-host. That's DB Real Music, and yours truly, Minister Fred too. So again, subscribe to the channel, nomoredirty.org. Then on Saturdays, like what we're doing right here, every Saturday, my man Professor acting in the background, getting it in, and myself, we do the session, Bible Beats and Bars, where it's transformative talk. You know you got some transformative stuff today. If you didn't, something wrong with you. It ain't us, it's you. And we if you're on travel, like a lot of people travel during the weekend, then you know you can get us again Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on Sundays, in fact, you're going to catch my man. I'm telling you, it's coming down the pipe. So this coming Sunday, you're going to be able to catch my man Corwin and I with the No More Dirty Squad, No More Team, No More Dirty Radio, G93, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that's on my coast, and that's on G93. Shout out to Ed Gaines Entertainment. He's got an app. He's got all that stuff. We believe in supporting those who are making a difference, and he got dope music, old school classic, boom bap, and he put us on with the clip, with the clean. Then 6 o'clock, we have 103.1. Shout out to my man Doc Kelly, the whole squad over there, man. That's family. We're on 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you're going to hear Corwin-O in the building, so don't get it twisted. And then on Mondays, we're worldwide global, not to mention 22 countries, thanks to the Liz and the Ann Seaster and all of them at envision-radio.com. So listen again, don't forget to subscribe to them, envision-radio.com. They have a magazine too, as well as We Up 103.1 and Ed Gaines, that is edgainsentertainment.com or G93 radio. So there it is. You already know the business. And then, of course, you cannot go without nomoredirty.org. So listen, if you're enjoying the content, with you keeping us alive anyway, and we keeping things alive and people, don't forget to invest, to visit, volunteer, and share. That's every day, all day. If you want to support, you want to sponsor, you want to help us do what we're doing here, we would love it. You know, it's a 501c3 public charity write-off. You get it back anyway. But guess what? The paying it forward is much better because you're helping people become better. And again, I want to say a special thanks to our special guest, headliner for September 17th is none other than my man, Corwin to the O. Corwin to the O, aka Sea Dog, in the building, baby.
Yeah, shout it in the building, shout it.
And thanks for being on our show today, man. We really do.
Man, I appreciate you having it, man. I enjoyed it. We can do this again.
Hey, for sure. We gonna do this. We just get started, man.
We
about that life. You know what I'm saying? So let me pray. He gonna keep the graphic up. We're gonna take you out with another bit. Y'all know you're not getting the whole joke, so don't act like this is. I don't believe. Don't even do it. You just got to show up. Take the time to go to eventbrite.com. Put the money on. Pay for the show, because you know you would go somewhere else and hear a whole 2 hours of cussing. You ain't gonna have to get that, and you still gonna be giggling. Yep. And you bring your whole family? Come on. What you think?
Family.
The whole family.
The whole family. You can bring the kids. You know, you ain't got to leave them in the car while you go in the club. You can bring the kids. Bring them on in there.
You know about that anyway, man. They go to jail. So anyway, yeah. I'm just saying. And then we're going to have some vendors there. Listen, bruh, we're going to have, I think this time we're going to have the African vendor. They got African, oh my goodness, African food. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I love Professor, man. He got us on lock and load up in here. There it is. NMD Clean Comedy Show, bro. You see the business, handle your business accordingly. Get a ticket, get 5, get 20. But I'm telling you, you know, yo, serious, because it's going to be $10 more at the door. So we got to make sure that these cats walk away with the bag. So that's what it is. So we love you again. Let me pray for you, Corwin-O. And then we're going to get out, and thank you all for taking the time to really hang out with us for real, for real. All right. So God, we are glad that you created humor. And we're even more glad that you created humor, that it can be a form of ministry and a form of transformative thinking, communication in this world. So God, we thank you so much for Corwin-O. Most of us know him as Sea Dog, or we know him as that guy that's been touring for years and years, and still, Lord, you have sustained him and you keeping him going strong. So I pray you bless his family, his whole squad, his whole troop, everybody that he rocks with. Bless his business and acclimate, just everything, Lord. And Lord, when he come to Huntsville, listen, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we want to laugh and we want to still be straight. So I thank you in the name of Yeshua the Christ for being that for him, us, and all. And to everyone listening, Lord, whether they know you or not, our prayers that they will have an opportunity to, like my man Saul, he got knocked off the horse to become Paul. Whatever it takes through this upcoming No More Dirty Clean Comedy, off the hinge, unhinged show, if it's going to help people be able to laugh and still understand their purpose and be who they are, then we will have done our job. We love you in the name of Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible. Amen. There it is, bro. You already know. Back, man. There it is. Go to eventbrite.com. And if you want to just support, if you want to sponsor, you want to do something, we got all these initiatives. Camp Smart, kids coming out of brokenness, you know, the Greatness Project. I mean, look at the website. Just take the time and go to the website. And then you're going to be like, oh, I see. And then you're going to be all right. So anyway, listen, we love you. And let's take him out with a little snippet of married men, because he's talking about getting brothers to the altar and get it back and right in the fam. And that's what it is. Peace, peace. What you think?
Peace.
Good. You got that? You already right on point.
ATL show.
Yeah, you know. All right, we'll see you. Peace, peace. Professor, take us out, man. Let's laugh a little bit more one time. Yep.
I'm telling you, married men. Married, sir? How long? 40 years. Do you raise your hand every time you speak, or just? You married? Yes. Mm-hmm. How long? 40 years. This is my wife. I like you. Come on over here. Come on. What's your name? Richard. Where you from, Richard? Miami. Oh, look at you. Old player you. Go ahead now. You know how I get moved up to 11 pound Jesus. Oh, how long you been in there? 35 years. You from here. Don't tell you from Atlanta no more. I mean from Miami. You from right here. 35 years. You got kids? 4. Mm-hmm. You see that? It might have been 5, 6, or 7. I don't know, but he said 4.
Okay, come on, we gotta get this one.
Cool. If I ever said I love you, no, I really meant it. If Jesus living in our hearts, then why we still be sinning? If everybody really loyal, why they keep on switching? If you gon' go and leave, I leave and buy the ticket. I know that vengeance is the Lord's, but I'm still a menace. I forgive but can't forget. I was down in no one check. I gave all the love I had until my heart had nothing left. There's a space up in my chest. Oh no, show too much love, you make it murk. These days I've been putting me first. Know the first gonna end up last. I probably end up making it worse. I act different when I'm hurt. Know that money not the answer, but need 10K for a verse. Watch how people treat you, that's how much they think you really worth. Grass is greener cause they fake. I stepped on them and it was turf. Score touchdown and hear my dance. I really bought you playing with a nerve. I can tell he ain't a man when he in his bag, he really in the purse. Pay my dues like bills on the first. I don't complain, I just go to work. I'm sitting at the desk, I'm the boss, not a clerk. Got my logo printed on all bad shirts. Get so much hate, but I don't divert. Made the love like jail divert. Been this way since the day my birth. Stunt too hard, they gon' kick you out earth. Gun go pop like a perk. Shoot my shot and fall back like dirt. Hit a game with him and go shot like church. That rejection was a blessing, I thank God you were a jerk. That's that dance where you gon' know it while your feet move in reverse. Know that line with no motion, heads look up and see the birds. In the field, with the herd, the straight and narrow line is blurred. If you knew the darkest things about me, you would be disturbed. I just hope that when I die, I raise like Jesus on the third. Light the herb and let it burn. Mama said that she concerned. Said there has to be a better way for me to calm my nerves. Tryna hide the smell, I keep it in a jar like it's preserved. I'm not ready for the stage of life, I wish I could rehearse. People hate me off of rumors that they heard, but if I ever said I love you, no, I really meant it. If Jesus living in our hearts, then why we still be sinning? If everybody really loyal, why they keep on switching? If you gon' go and leave, I leave and buy the ticket. I know that vengeance is the Lord's, but I'm still a menace. I forgive but can't forget. I was down in no one check. I gave all the love I had till my heart had nothing left. There's a space up in my chest. Oh no.